Welcome to another episode of This Call May Be Recorded. I am your host, Zach Garside. Welcome everybody to episode 28. This is the show where we listen to recorded customer service phone calls and coach them up live for all of you to learn from and be entertained by. As always, folks, we begin with a rant. I was watching, you guys ever seen that show Hotel Hell by Gordon Ramsay, the famous chef? He's extremely abrasive. He's not afraid to tell you how it is. He is insulting when he goes and tastes your food. Hit the comment section. Let me know where you're tuning in from today and if you've ever seen Hotel Hell. Anyway, I'm watching this episode of the show. Gordon Ramsay goes to this inn. He sits in the kitchen and he orders their apple risotto from the kitchen. So the chef cooks the apple risotto. The waitress sends it out to him. Gordon Ramsay tastes it and goes, "What a pile of crap." He thought it was disgusting. He was absolutely repulsed by the apple risotto. So he gets up, offended that he tasted such disgusting food. And he marches into the kitchen out for blood. Gets to the kitchen and says, "Guys, I'm trying to make sense of what I just ate." And you've got the cook, you've got the head chef, and you've got the owner who's got his apron on and looks like the head chef. So Gordon Ramsay asks, "Who's the head chef?" And you got kind of that like Spider-Man meme where everybody's just pointing at each other. You know, they're like, him, not me. Everybody looks kind of confused. And then the owner says, "Oh, we're kind of doing it in tandem." Gordon Ramsay's like, what does that mean, doing it? Who's the head chef? Who is responsible for the meal that I just ate? That was disgusting. It tasted sweet. Was there apple juice in that? And one of the chefs goes, "Oh yeah, there was apple concentrate." So he goes and puts it in front of Chef Ramsay. Chef Ramsay's absolutely appalled that they used apple juice to make this apple risotto. So he tells the chefs to get out of the kitchen while he talks to the owner, right? And this head chef goes outside and starts crying. But he wasn't crying because he was offended by Chef Ramsay. He was crying because, in his words, how can you expect something magical if it comes from a can? He'd been forced his whole career working at this inn to cook food from cans, to cook frozen food, to reheat microwaved leftovers for the guests. The owner, in an effort to cut costs and cut corners, forced his head chef to box up his skill, hide his creativity, and just cook everything from cans. There was no magic to it, no real flavor, no joy, no soul, no vibrancy. It was all canned. And then he starts crying even more as he says, "I go home and how can I expect my kids who think I'm their hero? How can I expect them to be proud of me when Gordon Ramsay thinks that my food is so terrible, when all I'm doing is cooking stuff from cans?" And that struck me because it made me wonder how many of us are essentially cooking from a can. We're doing our jobs, answering the phones, serving our customers, but it's all canned. It's all scripted. There's no real soul or vibrancy to it. You hear me say this every single week on this show, guys. The 4 key words, the one thing I want you to take away from every single episode, and that is that your customer interactions have to be more than a transaction. If you're a chef, your meals need to be more than just canned food. If you're a salesperson, it's got to be more than a transaction. If you want to set yourself apart, you can't rely on scripts to do it, or processes even, because anybody could copy any of those things. If you think a script is what's going to set you apart, you're wrong. The thing that sets you apart is the energy, the soul, the empathy, the vibrancy, the value that you uniquely bring to the customer conversation. And so if your CSRs think to themselves, "I just answer the phones. That's my job. I answer the phones." That is your number one problem right there. That is the first thing you need to address. It's not a scripting problem. There's not a single script in the world that's going to save you if your CSRs think all they do is create canned customer experiences from a script. I can't help you with a script. What you need is to change the perception. You need your CSRs to see themselves and their job, and you need to see them and their job as an opportunity to create magic for the customer. And if you do that, that's the first step to setting your business apart with the things that we talk about here. That is your rant of epic proportions today for episode 28 of This Call May Be Recorded. Today, I have a guest with me who's going to help me listen to some phone calls and coach them up on the air. You've met him before. He's one of our most tenured coaches here at Power Slam Pros. We've got Nathan Dickinson joining us today. What's up, Nathan?
Here I am. Thank you for your rants. I've been to a restaurant where the food looked like it did come from a can. So I've never been back since.
If it looked like it probably was that.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope our phone calls that we listen to today don't sound like they came from a can either. Hope we get some life into them. So, folks, as always, we've got 4 phone calls to listen to. Nathan and I have not heard any of these yet. We have a quality assurance team that listens to all of our clients' phone calls every 2 weeks and more calls. And I ask them each week to search out 4 phone calls that we can listen to, send them to me. A couple good ones, a couple not so good ones. So that's what we're going to be listening to today. Here we go with phone call number 1. Can you hear that, Nathan? That she is very quiet. She's practically whispering.
For me to be able to critique it, we do need to hear it. All right.
On my way up, CSR is whispering.
Yes, good morning. I have a relatively newer Lennox air conditioner that is having a little trouble. It's starting to freeze up now and then. I wonder if somebody could come and take a look at that and how much that might cost.
It would be $89 plus tax and repairs.
Okay. And let's see. And you guys, I'm new to the area, so I'm just kind of groping here a little bit. You guys obviously service Lennox all the time, right?
Yes, we have been in business for over 30 years.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's see. I guess I'd like to schedule a visit. If you could do that. It's not a crisis visit, but I'd like to get a look at it.
Okay, sure. And have we been to your home before?
No.
All right, Nathan, what are you hearing so far?
I'd like to do the call over. Do you want to be the customer and I'll be what she maybe demonstrate what she should have done?
Absolutely. I love that idea. Yeah. All right, here we go. Ring, ring, ring.
Thank you for calling Blue Jays Heating and Air. This is Nathan. How can I be your hero today?
Hey, Nathan, I've got a brand new Lennox air conditioner that stopped working on me. I turned on the thermostat, but I'm not getting any air from it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I need some help.
Yeah, that's not good. He also brought up time at the same. You want to tell me that you want to come out today too as well?
Yeah. Do you guys have anything today? I need to get somebody out here today as soon as possible, honestly. So
we can definitely look at the schedule. That's definitely frustrating. Your AC is freezing up, but we can absolutely take care of you. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
My name is Zach.
Zach, my name's Nathan. I'll be taking care of you. Hey, glad that you called. Definitely frustrating when your AC is freezing up. How old is your system?
My system is brand new. Like we just got it installed like a month ago.
Oh, brand new, not freezing up on you. It's only going to get hotter. So glad you called. How many units do you have? Is it just one unit?
That's right, just one.
Okay. We can definitely take care of you. Let's get somebody out there to get this going for you. You wanted someone as soon as possible today. What's your address?
My address is 123 Main Street.
You want to pause there? Or do you want to keep going?
I'll pause right there. Okay. So explain to us, there's the contrast between what the CSR did and what you just did there.
So the call began with my AC's freezing up, and can you come out today? And what does she do? She went straight into, we charge $89. So before we go into this is what we charge, we want to get to know the customer, right? Talk to him about his situation. I'm sure anybody that's in a situation when they have no AC, it's definitely not comfortable, right? So let's talk about that. When did this happen? Has this happened before? Are we coming out to fix 1 unit, 2 units? We definitely want to set our technicians up for success. So let's make sure we get good notes. They come and arrive with all the parts so they can fix it in one visit. Show that you care by saying that's not good, or who wants to be in a house that's definitely hot. It's only going to get hotter. So reassure the customer we can help, and then go back to their time expectation. So he said, do you have someone available today? Let's get your address and get somebody out there as soon as possible. So that's how I would handle those first 5 steps.
Okay. I think the 2 things that stand out to me the most are, number one, get to know the customer, the way you said that, right? Get to know them. I think a lot of times companies think, well, it's a customer. They're not my friend. I'm not here to get to know them. Actually, you are. Like, you want to build a long-term relationship. If you make that switch in your mind from you're booking 1 call to you're starting a long-term relationship, you absolutely want to get to know the customer. And then also matching the customer's sense of urgency is huge, because he says, can you get somebody out here today? And when you practice with me, you went right into, well, yeah, let's see if we can get somebody out there. What's your address? We want to get someone out there as soon as possible. Even if you can't meet that expectation, even if you know already we're booked for at least the next 4 days, you still want to show the customer that you're doing everything you can to be urgent, that you understand and empathize with a sense of urgency. Because if you send that customer away saying, well, we couldn't get out there soon enough anyway, it's not like they're going to call the next competitor and magically get what they want. They're going to have to wait for somebody, right? So they might as well wait for you.
Awesome. I agree. Thank you.
Let's look at another one. Let's do a second call. Here we go.
Thank you for calling. So, can I make your day better?
Yes, hi. My name is, and I'm a customer. I had a new water heater put in back in, would that have been August?
Okay.
Last August. But I have a problem with it. That there's 2 things. Somehow it's leaking. It's dripping down on top of my dryer. I can't see any water in the little plastic thing that they put underneath it, but it's all wet up underneath there. Somehow water's coming out, and the whole bottom of it is already, it's not even a year old. It's all rusting out, and I need somebody to come make a service call. It should still be under warranty.
Okay. Give me just a moment.
These are calls from the can.
Lots of dead space.
I want to jump out of my seat.
I'm just going to sit here with the silence. We're just going to
The address that comes up is for now.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. As of right now, the first availability I have would be Saturday between 8 and noon.
Saturday between 8 and noon would be fine.
Okay.
Just to be clear right there, if you present the customer with a time, like just I have this one time without asking when they want, and they're happy about it, that means you got lucky, not that you provided good service.
Mm-hmm.
You got lucky.
What is the way that we should ask?
Ask the customer, Mr. Jones, we can definitely help you out. I'm glad you gave us a call. when would you like us to come out?
Yeah, and we can even say if they see that Saturday is our first available, another way we could do it is like Zach said, we can take care of that water heater for you. Call the right place. You can only imagine your frustration having a new water heater that's rusty, leaking. Our first available is Saturday. When would you like us to come out? So that way it's in there. They're still having control. The customer still has control of the schedule.
Interesting. I haven't heard that one. I also want to point out the thing that Nathan's doing that's really good here is notice the level of detail in Nathan's responses to the customer. Like Nathan's not just saying we can help. Nathan's rephrasing everything the customer described about the frozen air conditioner, about the rusty water heater, about water leaking at the bottom. He's essentially repeating the whole thing back to the customer to let them know, I understand. I'm listening. I hear you. I get it. And that's huge.
Do you usually play the whole call, Zach?
That was the whole call. It just ended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I usually do it. If I was in control, I would stop it like 10 seconds in because there's so much we can talk about with the opportunities in that call.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to let that one sit just because I wanted people to feel how that silence just is punishing.
Yes, it was.
That's all right.
I don't know what to say. But yeah, definitely lots of opportunity. And as I mentioned earlier, a call from McCann. Yeah,
I agree. Let's look at another one. This time when you want to pause it, just like put your hand up and
I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Conditioning. This is how can I make you smile today?
I like her energy. Positive.
He did. By answering the phone.
Good.
I am wanting to schedule just an air conditioning tune-up.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And
what has you thinking you want one? Go
ahead. Next week, if possible.
I like that question.
Okay. Yeah.
What has you thinking you want one?
Yeah.
And I saw your ad. You had the ad in. I can't even find my magazine now. One of those magazines that come to my house, and I also looked you up on Google reviews, and your reviews are great.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we definitely like to have our customers go through our reviews because it is a great place to kind of get to know us a little bit.
All right, let's hear it.
Thank you. And we can keep playing it. I want to pause it just to recognize how positive this call is starting off. So first, her greeting was fantastic, right? And the customer recognized it, like, oh, wow, yeah, great. So right from the beginning of the call, the first 3-5 seconds, we already have that rapport, right? The customer complimenting the CSR off of her greeting. And we can all do that. We can all come up with a fantastic greeting, be positive, be confident, and the customer already loves us from our greeting. And later we have, I've seen your reviews. You guys are fantastic. What a great introduction for somebody to call in and just compliment them on a greeting, and then I've seen your reviews. Anyway, just really impressed. A lot of excitement here. What a great find.
Yeah, love the way that she said thank you after the customer complimented the reviews.
This is every CSR's dream to have a call begin like this.
Yeah, seriously. Let's keep going.
Who did I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
My name is.
And is that CKI? Perfect. And I can definitely get this taken care of for you today. What has you thinking you need an AC tune-up?
I love that question. What has you thinking you need an AC tune-up? I'm not sure I've heard it phrased that way before, but that's
great way to ask. Yep.
It's a lot better. It's a lot better than asking, why do you think you need an AC tune-up?
I agree.
A why question makes people defensive.
Yeah. What makes you think that what's making you thinking that you need an AC tune-up? What's making you thinking that you need AC tune-up? Great.
That's a good one. Good question.
Did you say, why do I think I do? I just, I think it's a good idea to get it done every couple of years. And I have no way of knowing this, but my house just doesn't seem as cool as it used to be. And my AC isn't that old. I think it's only 4 years old. So,
Okay.
but, it might just, I don't fully understand the term calibrated. It may end up, needing that, but I don't know. I need an expert to tell me. And so I just think it'd be a great idea, even if nothing's wrong. And I really don't think anything major is wrong at all.
Right.
But I just think it's a good idea to get big, expensive machinery tuned up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's always a good idea.
All right. I would one thing I would have done there is I would compliment the customer and say, I think you're smart for doing that. I think you're smart for thinking that way. It's smart to get your air conditioner tuned up on a regular basis. Really extend that compliment to them. Make them feel smart for calling in.
Cool.
Yeah.
I agree. Sounds good.
Let's keep going with it.
I don't know. I need an expert to tell me. And so I just think it'd be a great idea, even if nothing's wrong. And I really don't think anything major is wrong at all.
Right.
But I just think it's a good idea to get big, expensive machinery tuned up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's always a good idea. We actually recommend that you do your preventative maintenance yearly, just because it does prevent problems in the future. So definitely do this for you. Now, location of your AC, was it just outside and ground level?
It's down in the basement.
Okay. And then the condenser unit, was that in the outside?
Yes, it's outside on the south side of my house.
Okay. And do you by chance know what
Anything sticking out to you right now?
I think I appreciate the how friendly she is, still asking great questions about the customer's situation, and I see a compliment at the end where this lady's going to praise her for the experience.
Yeah. This is a pretty long call. We're not even halfway through.
Oh,
I'm gonna
it's going to take up the whole show, but it's an excellent call, and I'm very happy to hear what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I'm going to skip forward a little bit past
Okay.
the logistics here and see if we can get to where she builds value. I want to hear what happens.
All right.
brand you have?
All right. Come on. Yeah, this is a 10-minute phone call.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe skip to the end and see what it sounds like at the end.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
That
What size filter you have? Address for you?
it's
Worries. What if I went ahead? My Friday's schedule is be either an 8 to 12 or a 12 to 4. And then if I did the morning, I could just do 8. Just make sure maintenance that we'll be doing for you is pretty basic preventative maintenance. We'll do a light cleaning of the system as well as change out any standard size filter. And then we'll also just make sure that everything's running up to manufacturer specs for you. So pretty good thing to do. And the technician that comes to your home will show up in a fully stocked and marked vehicle for you, as well as full company uniform. So you should feel pretty comfortable letting him in. You'll know that he's with our company. And then
Okay, right there, I have to point out what she did. She mentioned the fully stocked truck, technicians coming out, backed by the company in full uniform. But she went a step further on that too by telling the customer why that's important, which is you should feel pretty comfortable with him in your home.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just saying he's going to have a fully stocked truck, she also added the reason that's important. The reason you should want the company who serves you to have a fully stocked truck and a uniformed technician. That stands out to me. That's a pretty good thing to say right there.
Good.
And then that being said, I've got that scheduled for the 17th between 8 and 12, the later end of that time frame. Was there anything else I could do for you today?
actually, while we've been talking, I thought of a question.
Yeah.
Provided there is, provided there isn't additional services needed. I'm not paying for a service call and a tune-up, right? I'm just paying for the tune-up?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Because I know some companies do that, and I think it's unethical.
Yeah, no. I know I've actually, on that subject, I've had a lot of customers call in with no cooling, and they're very surprised that we have just flat rates for pretty much everything, because I guess other companies do charge where it's like hourly and then da-da-da, but we just have flat rates, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, great. That was the only question I can think of.
Okay, well, no worries there. I'm going to get that scheduled for you. If by all means you do have any questions or concerns that pop up, you can always give us a call, and we'll answer to the best of our ability for you, okay?
Okay, so call you just, if I do think of something, call you back at the same number I just got you at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds great.
All right. Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you for being the best conditioning, and we'll talk to you in a couple of days.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure. You have a great day, hon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay.
What do you think of that ending?
We need to call the CSR right now and tell her how grateful we are for her.
Yeah, she's fantastic. That was a great call.
Yeah.
Good job with all of it. Listening, empathizing, building value. Sounds like she spent a lot of time on the scheduling aspect. We didn't listen to that part.
Mm-hmm.
But I just noticed how she asked the question, what if I do this?
Mm-hmm.
While they were scheduling, which is excellent whenever your customer has concerns about price, time frame, anything related to the service, to show that willingness to work with them and say, what if I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Because very few companies are willing to do that. They're not willing to say to the customer, hey, I want to help you. I want to work with you. I want to make it right. What if I do this thing? What if I apply this coupon? What if I move the appointment up here? What if I put you on the urgency list?
Mm-hmm.
What if questions are powerful for showing the customer your desire and willingness to work with them?
Yeah, she did a great job selling her company. Did it sound like to you that she sold a maintenance plan to her, or offered the maintenance plan? Do we miss that part?
I didn't catch that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it was a 10-minute call and we skipped to the end, but sounds like they were talking possibly about a maintenance plan.
That'd be awesome.
Because that's what a tune-up is, where we come out in the spring and the fall to tune up your unit. So definitely a good opportunity when the customer calls in and says, I'm looking for a tune-up, definitely a great opportunity to mention your maintenance plan.
Yeah. Well, Nathan, what do you think is the one big takeaway people who are watching this or listening to this after the fact should take away and start applying to their calls?
The first two calls, positivity attracts people. The first two calls, you could tell right off the bat, energy wasn't there. And this call, our last call, ended with really fantastic energy. So when you hear the positivity, you hear the reassurance, you can just kind of see the difference between those two calls. So I think I'm going to go with positivity attracts people. Okay.
I love it. And for those CSRs, because every once in a while somebody hears that and says, that's not who I am. That's not my personality. I'm not bubbly, as they say. I'm not energetic.
Mm-hmm.
How do you help somebody like that bring that kind of positivity to the interaction?
Great question. What do we need to get there that we can come to work come to work positive and happy, and giving her those examples where we could listen to someone that's not so energetic and someone that is, and just ask them, which one would you prefer to be more like? If you were the customer, put yourself in the customer's shoes, which customer service rep would you prefer to work with? Think of a time where you needed customer service in your life, and which customer service rep would you have answer the phone to assist you?
There you go. A little empathy exercise for you.
Yeah.
What customer service would you like to serve you?
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. And be honest. Don't tell me you want the cold-hearted, soulless person, because I know that's not true.
Yeah. Bring up, when was the last time you had something happen in your house? How did you feel? And when you called somebody, who would you prefer to have?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we're not that person, let's get ourselves there by listening to your favorite music, your upbeat music, listen to comedians, change your friends. We want to hang around people that are positive.
Yeah. Great point. Speaking of comedians, you want to hear a joke before we log off? I'm going to say a joke. I'm going to tell you a joke. Drop them. We're going to be done.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a guy. He wants to go to prom with his girlfriend, and he wants the
Okay.
prom to be perfect. So he's
Yep.
like, I'm going to get a tuxedo. I'm going to get a limo. I'm going to get flowers. Goes to the tuxedo shop, and there's this super long line. So he decides,
Uh-oh.
I got to get a tux, right? So he sits in the line, waits for hours, finally gets his tuxedo. All is right in the world. Then he goes to the flower shop. Same thing. Crazy long line. And he's like, oh, man, dude, I don't know about this. But he waits in the flower line anyway. Spends all that time, gets flowers. Now he has a tuxedo and flowers. He just needs a limo. So he goes to the limousine dealer.
Let me guess. It's a really long line.
It's a huge line. Everybody's getting a limo for prom this year.
Oh.
And he waits in the line, and he's like, oh, my gosh, the lines today. Jeez, I'm sick of lines. But he waits in the line, gets a limo. Got all three things: tuxedo, limo, flowers, takes his date to the prom, and it's amazing. They're having a great time, dancing, hanging out with their friends, having fun. And his date goes, I am so thirsty. Could you go get me some punch? And he says, oh, 100%, absolutely. So he goes over to the table where the punch is, and there's no punch line.
Uh-oh. Oh, the poor guy.
Come
Well,
on, that's a great joke.
Awesome.
I don't
Well,
have to-
hey, thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate the opportunity to work with you.
All right, Nathan, you're the man. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody, we'll see you next week for episode 29 of This Call May Be Recorded.
Bye, guys.